Last week, I had a coaching call with somebody who spent the last 6 months trying to figure this GoHighLevel thing out. She was watching YouTube videos for 8 to 10 hours a day, trying to figure out how to get clients, how to sell clients, how to get them results. She was incredibly frustrated, but I think by the end of our call, she gained lots of clarity as to how to get those first 10 customers. I explained to her how difficult the first 10 are because you don't have the results, you don't have the proof yet. And so if you watch this video, I'll walk you through the exact process that I walked her through on how she can get her first 10, 15, 20 customers in the easiest way possible. And this video is not going to be the most engaging thing ever because it is a coaching call. But if you've spent the last 6 months or a year trying to figure the high level thing out and get clients and get results, this video will probably resonate with you very well. I hope you enjoy it.
Okay, I'm spending 6 or 8 hours a day listening to classes or listening to this or doing that or watching videos or trying to do ads and then watching ads and trying to evaluate that and what do I change and all these things. And I'm like, I either need to like shit or get off the pot type thing, you know.
Do you want to talk about kind of like the strategy, the overall strategy of it first? Or do you want me to like share my screen and kind of walk through like setting up the client? I can just go slow and you can ask questions as it happens, or, what would be best for you right now, you think?
I kind of like the strategy first and then to finish with it, that would be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So when it comes to strategy, and I think I say this in a couple of my videos, but most people fail with the, anything with high level, honestly. Most people mess up, or most people quit, or most people fail, whatever. It's all the getting customers to pay you and trust you. And like, that's the tech stuff. It's confusing and it can be overwhelming and it can be hard and it can be annoying. But most people don't fail because they don't know how to do the tech stuff. Most people fail because they can't make the connection between like doing this thing with the tech and like convincing a business owner they want to pay for this monthly or whatever. That's where most people fail. And so like getting that, and I have a video coming out about this soon, but like what I kind of figured out after doing all the high level stuff and doing the agency stuff and doing whatever is that when you really do focus and you say, hey, I'm just going to do reviews for somebody. I'm just going to do reviews for people, right? Like that's going to be my system. Once you figure out how to do it, it really doesn't take more than an hour or two to set up a client, including the onboarding call and stuff like that. And if you're able to integrate their system, delivery is automated, right? It's pretty much completely automated. It's just dealing with some support. And so something I say in my videos and also say in the community is that your first 10, 15, 20 clients are going to be the hardest by far, because you're not going to have the case studies, you're not going to have the reviews, you're not going to have the testimonials, you're not going to have the conviction that you know how to set these people up and get them results. Yeah. And so what I like to do, just from a strategy perspective, when you're getting started, is remove all the friction. Remove as much friction as possible just to get the first 10. Like get the first 10 by offering a super long free trial, by eating the text and email expenses if you need to, by, if they don't want to do an onboarding call, fine, don't do an onboarding call, try and get it one at a time, which is really hard. That's a lot harder than actually getting an onboarding call. But just removing as much friction as possible, basically telling people, hey, I'll do this for free for you for 3 months, whatever. I just want to get results. And I think one quote is like, if you ask for money, you'll get feedback. And if you ask for feedback, you'll get money. And so like telling these business owners, hey, I just want feedback. I built this system. I just want feedback on the system. And then once you get them results and get them reviews, most of the time, they're going to be willing to continue to pay you for that. And especially when you do this, when you do it for the first 10, 15, 20 people for free, the price to value discrepancy is a lot higher, right? You're charging nothing and you're providing a lot of value, and it makes your service and your business a lot more referable. It makes it a lot more viral because people are way more willing to sell. And so, I have clients that when I was getting started, I had clients where I'd do stuff for free for a while, and they're like, they might hesitate about paying. I say, no worries, don't worry about paying. I would rather just keep getting reps under the belt and keep learning and getting case studies and stuff. Just like make one email introduction with me a month. Make one or two email introductions with another business owner, and I'll keep letting you do it for free. And because if you think about it, like, and this is a good spot because a lot of people getting started are like trying to pay their bills like right away, right? And that's like not a great place to come up from it, because it's hard to make great long-term decisions when you're like trying to pay rent this month, And so if it's hypothetical extreme, let's say for a year, you gave everybody a year-long free trial. How easy would that be to sell? It'd be a lot easier. How many more people would you get on board? Say, hey, I'll give you 3 months for free, and every time you make an introduction with another business owner, I'll add a free month to your account. Or every time you give me a video testimonial, I'll add a free month to your account. And then what happens is like for a year, you don't really make much money. You don't make much money for a year or whatever. But a year and a half, 2 years from now, you pretty much guarantee that in 2 years, you can probably have $10,000 a month in recurring revenue coming in because you are willing to wait and nobody else is really willing to wait. And depending on bills and stuff, I think it makes sense to have a hybrid model. Maybe like certain people you give a year if they use a certain system that's really easy to integrate with. Like if they use a CRM that's super easy to integrate with, we'll get it to you for free. But maybe the other ones you do 3-month trial or a month trial just to get something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I like strategy.
I like that idea because I did go to a BNI, my first BNI meeting, and I kind of went in and said, hey, this is what I'm doing, and I'd like to work for 60 days for free and just, give you some reviews and that kind of stuff. And everybody was interested. And this one guy, like I was telling you, that this accountant, he was like, oh, I want to work with you. Yeah, no, you're not going to work for free, all that stuff. And we sat down and talked for 2 hours. But then he's like, well, how much would you charge me? And I'm like, well, this is to build out your platform, and I'm not going to charge an onboarding fee. I'll do the $497 a month, and then we'll do the, X amount later or whatever. And that just slowed everything down, even though he said, oh, I'm not going to have to work for free. I'm going to, pay you. But it's like all of a sudden, then when I put money out there, it's like, the whole weekend went by. Yeah, exactly. So I like that idea. It's like, no, I said I would work for free. Now I say a number because you wanted me to say a number. Now you don't want to do it. Like
In your hesitant. Yeah. What the heck? No, it's hard too because one of the most demoralizing things for me when it's happened in the past or whatever is that you'll work for free and you'll want to provide, value, like thousands of dollars of value to these clients, and people will still say no. And which is like, I'm offering something for free, you still say no. And it's like, and it's because of like the other hidden costs that they don't really understand. Like, oh, well, then I'm gonna have to meet with you. I'm gonna have to get you this. I'm gonna get you this, whatever. And people just don't know. They don't know. And some people don't want to grow. Like some people just genuinely just don't care. And they're like, I'm just good with whatever this is now.
I do think there's an element of the whole business owners that's their baby. They don't want you to get in the middle of it. Cause I noticed I have a friend opened a gym and him and his wife are doing it. And I literally have everything built out for him because I wanted to do a test trial with him and have a voice AI. I had a bot. Yeah, I have everything ready to go. And they just don't want to do it. And, I'm like, it's free. Like, I want to help you grow. But they just, what's their thing, and they don't want help, and they want help, but they don't want in the middle of it. So I get it.
Yeah. It's hard too because they don't want to, a lot of times they're scared to give up control. And I think that the right business owners, the one that you want to work with, the right business owners will be more than willing for you to take something off their plate. Where that's what I'll get pushback on, like, oh, well, if you give away a year-long trial or a 3-month trial or a 6-month trial, you're going to attract the worst clients. And in my experience, that's just not been the case. It's just been the same batch of clients as normal. Every 100 clients, you got 10 or 15 awful ones, and you got 20 or so great ones, and the rest are just, average. And so it's been pretty much the same. I've probably given out, 30, 40, 50 3-month plus trials in the past year and a half. And it's the same. I don't see a higher churn rate on those people. I don't see more headaches. I'd see just the same amount of headaches that everybody else that's paying gives me as well.
Well, and I like the philosophy too, because I think anytime I worked with another gal, and I said, hey, I'll do this for $297, and I'm kind of a beginner, so it'll go slow. And she was fine with that. But then the minute she paid money, there was an expectation. That's oh, well, did you get this out? Did you do that? It's okay, I told you I'm a beginner. You're not getting on Facebook.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of that, I like that philosophy too, because then when it's free, they don't get to have any expectation because they're not paying anything for anything. Everything you give them for free. So I like that. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and I think too, once you have your process dialed of you do this for onboarding, you do this to let them know the account's launched, you do this once they get reviews, whatever. Once you kind of have that in place, and you give everybody a 5-star service, whether they're paying or not, then people will be grateful. I mean, it's one of those things. It's still I would expect the people that I give a free trial to be more grateful and more excited or whatever. But still, as always, even the people that are paying, I've got some really grateful people, and I've got some really grateful people who are free. But for the most part, people are just meh, And I think too, when you do the stuff for free in the beginning, it just takes some of the pressure off of it. Because like it's already going to be stressful. It's already going to be a lot of new. It's already going to be stuff that you're going to have to troubleshoot as you go through. And so doing it for free just kind of takes that pressure off.
And then when
But in terms
talking to people, with talking to people like advertising and things like that, do you do more cold calling, showing up to people like to restaurants or to businesses? Like, what's your philosophy of actually approaching people?
Yeah, so the sequence, like pretty much because I came from agency too. So I had a SEO agency that was doing like, or it wasn't even an SEO agency. It was an agency that I was doing like literally anything for anybody. It's classic, like messy. Anybody that would give me their credit card, I'll do their website, I'll do their ads, I'll do their social media, whatever they want me to. And so I was making like $16,000 or $17,000 per month doing that, but it was really stressful. I had like 10 clients. I was just all service delivery all day. I couldn't work on my own business and stuff. And so I had a little bit of experience then, but then I kind of like transitioned, like started to sell people on reviews and actually started to kind of just keep it like the agency model. I was charging like $1,000 setup fee and then like $400 a month. And then I realized that like when you do that, you really have to leverage your sales skills and like your trust with the client and stuff. And anytime you start pushing it out to cold audiences, they're like, no, screw off. Like you'll still find some, but it's just going to be a lot harder. You're gonna have to really work on selling. And so what I did when I was like, okay, I'm doing the review stuff, I'm gonna focus on this. I did first my network. So I texted probably 300 or 400 people on my phone. I DM'd like a lot of my Instagram followers and Facebook followers. So first start with those people that already know, like, and trust you, that you already have the kind of some rapport with, because that's going to get you over the whole, you don't have any results, case studies and proof yet. You don't have the proof yet. Right. And so once I got some results for friends and family, people that knew me, people I already talked to in the past or whatever, people already kind of trusted me. Once I got results from them, I probably had 5 or 10 or 15 different case studies and reviews that people had gotten reviews for. Then I went to local cold outreach. So where are you located?
In the Bay Area, Manteca, the Bay Area. I worked up in Bell and San Jose and stuff like that.
Okay, but you have like there's a decent amount of people around you. Like you don't live in a tiny little city, right?
No, I'm Bay Area is Northern California, basically.
Great. So I think that's great because you will have a large sample size, a large pool of local people that you can reach out to, and you can automatically differentiate yourself from the rest of the world that's reaching out to them and trying to sell them stuff by offering to meet with them in person or telling them that you live here, you might go to the same, used to go to the same school or church, whatever it is. And so you have that common denominator that just the local side of things is going to create so much more trust. I mean, they could not know you from anybody, but if you can tell them that you can meet them at a coffee shop down the road, then they're like, okay, this isn't some scammer across the world, And so go warm outreach to your network for your first 5-10 customers and get some results. Then do cold outreach to your area. And a lot of times when you do the warm outreach to your network, that'll include some people locally that you'll get results for locally. And then when you go do the cold outreach in your local area, you can say, hey, I helped Bay plumbers get from 50 reviews to 150 reviews. I would love to do the same thing for your business for free. I'd love to meet this coffee shop and whatever. And so then a lot of my cold outreach was cold SMS and cold email, all manual. So one thing I really emphasize to people in my community is like, don't worry about scale. Don't worry about the system. I mean, and I tell people this. I wish I had some like magic acquisition system that was like, you set up these emails, you send these templates, and you just get this results, period. And that probably doesn't exist. I just haven't figured it out yet. I'm not smart enough, or I'm working on it. But the problem is that it was not ever like super clean, and it was never really super clean for me. It was just kind of like piece by piece, very manually figuring it out. And so what I did was cold outreach with my phone. And so I would find a number on Google, I would put it in my phone. If I knew it was like a blue number, then I knew it was an iPhone. And I was like, oh, great. And I would send my cold script.
Say a blue number? What's a blue number?
Like an iPhone, if you like text iPhone to iPhone, I don't know if you have an iPhone or not, but like
I do.
Yes. So if you like go to Google, find some businesses, put the phone number here. If the phone number pops up blue, it's a cell phone. It's an iPhone. And so you'll get a better response rate on that. I would still text the green numbers, but if it's blue, it's a cell phone. And so when they were blue, I would normally throw in something like a voice memo. So I would just like add an audio voice memo and say, hey, this is Clay, View Harvest Forever. I help 38 Plumbing down the road, get some reviews. I'd love to do this for free. So just like adding something super personalized, and also sending your script, get a really good conversion rate, a decent conversion rate on that. Like there's people in my community that have been sending out 20 to 25 cold outreaches a day, hyper personalized, like people they can work with well, and have been booking 1 or 2 meetings a day from that, just from the 20 or 30 messages, And so they're going to take longer to do, and it's going to be harder to do 100 a day. But if you can do the quality and the personalized, and like I tell people in the beginning, like in the beginning, you don't have clients, like there's really nothing you should be doing besides just reaching out to people because like we don't have any other work to be doing. So it's like if we're not making people know about our stuff, we're wasting our time. And so I did cold outreach locally. Kind of the script that I used for this, I have this in my first 10 customers video. If you look up like Clay Lawrence first 10 SaaS customers or whatever, I have the script listed there. But basically what I would do to make it hyper personalized is I would say, hey, business name or business owner name, if I could find it on their website, saw that negative review from Sally or whatever. Like I go to their Google Business Profile and find a 1-star review. Say, saw that negative review from Sally. Just want to let you know I reported it. Hopefully Google will take it down. So you just click on 3 dots, report it. And now just do like ... People are crazy. Because a lot of times when you mention a negative review, they're going to have like a crazy story about it. And so just trying to relate to them, right? They're going to be like, oh, this person never worked with us. This person's a dad or whatever. And so just saying like people.
So, right. You went to Google, you saw the ones, and then there's a place that you can report it.
Yeah. So like this was one of my first clients. One of my first clients, they had 12 reviews when I got started with them. Now they have 1,000. But what I did, the exact message that I sent to him, I put it in the video, but let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I think it was one of these reviews. I just said, I went to his website and I saw in his email was adam@38golfcarts.com. So I said, okay, I'm assuming this guy's name's Adam. And so I grabbed his phone number. I grabbed the phone number from right here, put it in. It was blue. And so I was like, okay, sweet. So his name's Adam. He has his little review here. This is his phone number. So I said, hey, Adam, saw that negative review from Hoyt, ... People saw that negative review from Hoyt. Just want to let you know I reported it. So hopefully Google takes it down. And I'm just like, ... People are crazy. And then I just do enter, and I would say, just let you know, I'm doing this thing where I help business owners get reviews for free. I'd love to set it up for you and just get your feedback on the system or whatever. And then just kind of leave it open-ended. It was like, would you be interested?
How did you report it to, you said you click on some dots or something?
Yeah.
You click.
Yeah, just click right here and report review. And then you just click on, off topic or whatever, and then it's reported.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
You're helping them, right?
It's like we're putting our best foot forward and saying we're already trying to help them out, right? And so I would message that probably 30 or 40 people a day, and you'll get people to respond. I think the trickiest thing there is just getting the right number. And so I would do the same thing when I found a business that I knew I could work well with, and we can go into like what that means. But when I found a business I knew I work well with, I would reach out to them across platforms. So I'd send them a text, send them an email, send them a Facebook DM, send them an Instagram DM, hit them across like all channels so that you have a much higher chance of them responding. Because you'll find that some people will respond to Facebook Messenger right away. Some people will check Instagram DM. Some people will check email. People check different things. And so if you can help somebody out, then it makes sense to try and get them from different angles.
So I have a question with that. If I see, like, I was trying to even think of this because I have a voice AI for gym owners and fitness trainers. If I look at Google and they have like their website or they have their email or even their phone number, can I put that into a nurture, like into a workflow, or is that something that is that more quote illegal or not cool? That's something I should just message them with, or how should I handle those?
Yeah, I recommend, especially in the beginning, doing everything personalized, super personalized by hand, because you have the time in the beginning because we don't have people we're trying to fulfill, right? Technically, the cold SMS, like messaging to businesses who haven't opted in, but phone numbers are listed on Google. Very gray area. I don't really know. I don't have a good answer on you. People do it and get great results. People also do stuff like that and get sued. So I don't know.
Right, exactly. But you can do it to their email, but just not normally to their phone, right? Their emails.
Yeah, I mean, email's fine. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks. That helps a lot. No, I like strategy, and I feel like I kind of was thinking of these things, but just to have somebody that's done it and doing it, it's just really nice to talk and ask questions. So
Yeah.
this is great. Thank you.
For sure. For sure. No, happy to help. The process I went through was like first 5 to 15 customers or so, all network, all my network. First, like next, like 15 to 20 or 30 customers was all local outreach, personalized local outreach. Then what I did was I went to local ads. So I probably have 3 or 4 case studies from prominent businesses in the area that I've helped out. And so now we're going to use that information in ads. And so literally create a circle on Facebook ads, 50-mile radius or whatever. The hook of your ad is, are you a business owner in area name? I helped this business that they know about go from this many reviews to that many reviews. And I helped this other business go from this many reviews to that many reviews. And if these are businesses that they know and recognize, it's going to convert a lot better. And they're going to say, and I want to do the same thing for you for free. Just think of it as like a first date. I'd love to talk to you. Fill out the form below. And it was just a Facebook lead form. It was a Facebook lead form to book a call. And when I did that, I did it with 2 businesses in my area the businesses had the area name in them.
You said you went to, I know. I think when you set up, maybe you pulled something or it went out.
Oh, just
there probably.
might be dead. I don't know.
Or did it die? So,
All right. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. You said you had 2 businesses that something.
2 businesses that were prominent in the area. Like people knew.
That makes sense. Yeah.
People knew both businesses actually had our area name in the business name.
Nope.
I'm doing the hook of, hey, are you a business owner in insert area? I help this business go from X to Y reviews and this business go from X to Y reviews. And I'll do the same thing for your business for free. You just think of it as a first date or whatever. And then the lead form on Facebook lead form. And then the last page on that lead form was, you're not done yet, book your call. And so I ran Facebook ads locally. There's only about 25,000 residents in our area. And I just have the filter on there as like a small business owner behavior. That's like the only filter I put on it besides the location. And I had more sales calls for a month and a half than I ever had. I mean,
Wow.
I was spending like $50 or $60 a day on ads, and my calendar was pretty much full. Like from about 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day, I was like on calls. And so that kind of took me from like, I think I probably had 30 or 35 clients before I started doing that. That took me from 30 clients to 55 or 60 or 75 in a couple months, in like 3 or 4 months after kind of going through the whole process.
But I like the idea that you went with your local people first and you got a system in place. Cause that's for me, it's like, I want to be able to make sure I know how to fulfill. Like I know I have a system that this is what we do, this is how it is. Cause I'm being a teacher, I'm kind of systematic. So I like that idea, but I like how you can scale because that makes sense.
Yeah. And for you could probably run those local ads for so much longer than I did. Like eventually my local ads started to like get a little bit more expensive. The calls were more expensive, et cetera, because I was marketing the same people. And eventually like I probably spent 5 or 6 or 7 grand over 3 or 4 months. And it just wasn't converting the same. But for you, if you live in a larger area, you could probably run that offer until you had 150 clients. You probably do 150 clients. Because once you go national, once you go like, hey, I'm targeting the US, it gets a lot harder to sell and get these people on a call and convert. Like that was probably the hardest part of last year for me, was transitioning from like just working with people locally who you kind of already have that trust to now going to people all over America because they don't trust you. They don't know you. They don't like you. They don't, they know that, and some people are still great, but sometimes they suck. So
yeah, that's what I was doing more nationally when I did the Voice AI, and it was a lot of, looky-loos, and then they wouldn't, they'd send you spam or they'd do, and you're like, okay, this is not.
I would get a lot of that for sure. I mean, that's what I feel like half people that fill out probably 70% of the people that filled out my form were just like trash, but it's just like you're finding that percent that are good, and then that you get those 30% on a call, and then 10%, 10% of the 30, so like 10% of the total people wherever you can actually convert. And so it was hard, but the great thing is, and I tell people in my community about this, is that like now I don't know whether it's because we've gotten a lot of people good results, because we've provided really good support, like what it is, or because like of our density in certain Facebook groups. Like we've gotten really prominent in certain Facebook groups, like everybody in that, like a lot of people in that Facebook group use us. And like we, in the last a little bit less than 3 weeks, we've onboarded card on file. We've got card on file and signups for 22 clients, 22 new clients and I think I did like 2 or 3 sales calls with those people. Most of them just signed up without talking to us. because like when they see you over and over again in that Facebook group, in those Facebook groups, like they just trust you because other people in there, other people that do the same stuff or whatever are using you. And so it's a lot easier to sell and onboard. And so like once the word, I think once I hit like 140, 150 clients, I really haven't done any ads or any cold outreach or anything. It's just all been word of mouth from there. And like we're probably around like 200 now. And so like once the ball gets rolling, it can really keep going.
But like you said, those first ones are the hardest to feel confident about what you're.
It's so hard.
And then, so like when you say you're doing it for free, most of those, are you doing those for 3 months or 6 months, or it just depends on who you're working with? Is that kind of where?
Yeah, we had a time where ads nationally were not working well. I was trying to figure stuff out. I was testing new stuff. And I did have a virtual assistant who like, I helped because I got him because we were onboarding a lot of people. I needed the help for onboarding because he would do a lot of the back end and support stuff. And so a lot of days he wasn't doing much because we were just like, we weren't onboarding people and support wasn't a lot. And so I said, hey, this type of client, which for me, it was like the poop scooping businesses. Like I can serve them really well, integrate with their business. And like a lot of them we gotten good results with some prominent figures in that space. We got some good results. And so what I had him do was I was like, we can serve them well. Let's just offer them like a 100-day trial or a year-long trial. And so we did, I think we probably set up like 5 or 10 people on the year-long trial. And then we probably set up another 3 or 4 on like the 100-day trial.
Yeah.
And he would just like cold email and say, hey, just basically a similar script as normal, but just say, hey, we helped this poop scooper that you probably know about. She had like a YouTube channel and go from X to Y reviews. We'd love to do the same thing for you for free for a year,
And then when do you transition them to pricing, and what is your pricing, or how did you start your pricing?
So I like used to charge like $1,000 or $1,500 setup fee and like $400 a month. And I was like, that's not going to work at scale. Like it's going to be hard to sell. Right. And then I was like, I'm at $565 setup fee. I'm going to do $239 a month. And so I did that for probably 20 clients or so, and it was fine. But once again, when you charge the money up front, it just adds a lot of friction. And then I was like, screw it. I want to get as many people on board as possible. That's the goal. I just want to get people on the card on file. And so then I was like, I'll do 14-day free trials. And if they're hesitant, I'll extend that trial out. And so most of our clients have come through a 14-day trial where we get them set up, we get review reactivation. And some people could care less about the difference between a 14-day or a 30-day trial, but I think that the 3-month or 6-month really differentiates yourself. You're like, oh, wow, this is going to be free. Like you tell them like, hey, you're not going to get billed until July, they're like, oh, wow, that's like forever. Oh, I don't even care. That's forever. I'm not, and
Yeah.
it could really get those people over the edge. But what I would recommend you doing before you start doing that is have some sort of pricing in place and then get a card on file and get them committed to that pricing. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to give them a 6-month or a year trial, and then you don't want to have to get on another sales call to close them, right? You want to get a card on file and you want them to know the pricing. And what we do is we rebill for all the text and email expenses. And I've gotten like almost no pushback on that from the free trial. Like, hey, give you a year-long trial, a 6-month trial, a 3-month trial, whatever it is. But we are going to rebill our text and email expenses just because, these are costs that we incur ourselves. Yeah, like these are costs that we incur ourselves. These are directly from Twilio and Mailgun. Like we're not making any money on this, and we don't mark it up. We don't mark it up at all. We're not making any money on this. In fact, after payment processing fees, we're losing a little money on this. This is just so we don't on it, but we still want to give you a 3-month trial, whatever. And so now you're rebilling their card, so the card is a good card and it works. And they've already committed to a pricing plan, and they're going to start automatically getting charged 3 months, 6 months later. So
do you charge $1, or how do you make sure it's a good card?
We don't charge any. Well, I mean, Stripe's going to do some stuff automatically to verify that it's a good card. Like the card is a legit. If a card goes through, it should be a legit card, unless it's like one of those services that create fake cards for people to like not get billed or whatever. But what we do is we rebill for text and email expenses in the beginning. So hey, we hop on an onboarding call and they say, hey, we need to go ahead and add $10 to your account because we're rebilling for those text and email expenses. And so when that $10 goes through, it's good.
So you put it through the SaaS or something, and then when you put the purchase agreement that they're putting their name and email, when they put their card in, you're setting it so that it's a 3-month trial or whatever through SaaS, so that it doesn't come in but collects the
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of our a lot of we just keep our default trial at 14 days. And so if I'm on a call with somebody or whatever, I say, hey, I know this says a 14-day free trial. We're going to get you a month. We're gonna automatically up this up to 6 months or whatever. And so they click on start free. What it takes them to a Stripe link. So we don't use the SaaS configurator at HighLevel because we don't want to create this is like, you can use the SaaS configurator. The problem is that you're gonna have to get a new verified toll-free number or a new verified phone number when you create that account. And so like they sign up and now they have to wait 3 to 5 days to get a phone number verified. So what we do, which we're finally running into a decent amount of issues with this, so we're trying to figure it out. But what we do is we create sub accounts in advance before we get a client, and we purchase phone numbers and we verify those phone numbers under our information.
Oh, I see. Interesting. Okay.
When a client signs up here on Stripe, you don't have to do it automatically. We have a system through Zapier and stuff that automatically puts all this information here on this page into the sub account that already has a verified number. You could just do that manually. You could just, and your Stripe and your HighLevel will be integrated. So we use Stripe for all of our subscriptions and pricing plans or whatever. But if you go to like a sub account, I'll show you. You can just, let me find one. If they checked out through the pricing plan and your Stripe's integrated, then from there, all you have to do is, let me find, to add that payment information to the sub account, you click on 3 dots. Man, oh, this is already turned on. 1 second.
It's all right. Oh, and then you turn on the SaaS.
Yes.
So do you have to have SaaS to rebuild them? Do you have to have the 497 plan to rebuild them?
Technically, no. Technically, you don't. You just need to have the 297 plan to rebuild them at cost. You can't mark up on the 297 plan, which we don't mark up, and we don't use SaaS configurator. We need the 497 plan for some other like reporting and dashboard features that we use. But yeah, so all you'll do is you go to the sub account and then you just click on enable, and then you can just look up their information in Stripe. And so you can just find that you just say, I already have this customer. You look up their information in Stripe, and then you can just automatically integrate the payment process, the client's account in Stripe into this sub account.
Awesome. I love working with you. This is just so nice to have somebody that walks you through it, because it is a beast and there's just so many aspects to it. It's just, you can spend 6 months watching videos 10 hours a day and get nowhere. And that's what I feel like. I feel like I've just spent a lot of time. I'm tired of spending time. Like, I just want to do something and know how to do that well and then go. Yeah. So this is great.
And it really is hard and overwhelming, but like something that now that I've like seen the other side of it a little bit, it's like, it is really hard and overwhelming, but it makes a lot of sense because it really is so worth it. Like on the other side, it is so worth it to have like.
Yeah. I'm so done.
Now I know, and it's hard to know that, like, and I say this because I want to show people like it's the truth, but I also don't want to say it to like, I hate all the affiliates out there that are like, make $10,000 a month overnight. It's so easy. Anybody can do it. No experience, because that makes them the most money. They're saying that because they just want to miss you and to get you to sign up for their affiliate link or their program. It makes them money. But, and I see that, I see that, and it is misleading, but at the same time, that's the only reason I ever started. My first ever affiliate, the only reason I ever found HighLevel was because of him, and his video was engaging, and I signed up under him, and like, he didn't really give me any support or anything, but he did introduce me to it, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, and that's kind of what too, because it's like you spend money doing all these programs. Like Billy Jeans, I loved him. He was so good, and he showed us a lot. I'm tired of like spending a lot of time doing stuff and getting nothing. So that's kind of where I'm at. I love to work with you.
It's like, and when I tell you that it is worth it, what I mean by that is like, most days nowadays, I get $300 to $500 to $600 that comes to my Stripe account from people that I haven't talked to in months. And that, like, when I say that, like, I kind of wince because like I sound like a D-bag saying that. Like, I sound like a douchebag saying
that. No, it's true, but that's what
I don't say it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to underestimate people. Like, it is hard, and now the difficulty is that I see myself and I'm like, I'm still working most hours of the day because I love working and I'm trying to grow. But when I think about, okay, like when I go on vacation or something, I'm not trying to grow the business on vacation. How much work do I have to do? If today I was like, I'm not trying to grow the business today, how much work do I have to do? Well, I was done 2.5 hours ago. If I just had to respond to emails, make sure make sure nobody's freaking out, and you're done. And it really is amazing, but it's really, really hard to get there.
Yeah.
But it's so.
And I get that. And I'm in a position too where I'm not trying to make millions. I'm just trying to look for, retirement, side income, something that I can do for 4 hours a day, that I can kind of come in and feel like I'm helping people in the community. I'm engaging with people. I'm pushing my brain, but not, doing it. And if I can make 5,000 a month, I would be that dumb and happy. It's like,
If you've made it to the end of this video, first off, you're a real one, but you've probably spent way too long on YouTube already. So it's time to take action. So I've got nothing to sell you, but if you want to sign up with my affiliate link down below in the description to HighLevel, you'll get an extended 30-day trial. You'll be able to join a community with almost 600 people doing the same exact thing that we're doing, so we can all learn from each other and grow so much faster. You'll get my snapshots, coaching calls every week, just like this one you just watched, where I can answer all your questions and meet you exactly where you are. And if you want to help support me, just click that like button down below. It really helps. Peace.